Hello, wonderful people, and thanks again for joining us on YouTube. This is a story time of how we won our biggest project. That project was the British Chambers of Commerce, which is a membership organisation. They have 53 accredited chambers in the UK. So we are a member of two of those now. We've got St Helens Chamber of Commerce and the Knowsley Chamber of Commerce. And these businesses are, or these organizations, sorry, are great ways for you to sort of engage, learn, and also grow your business too. I didn't really know much about growing a business, and the first thing people kept telling me to do was join your local chamber of commerce, and I did that. I got loads of advice and support, and it was a great experience. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to tell you guys the story of how we won that project. I've always been an active participant in my local chamber of commerce, which is St Helens. That's local to the business. And I always make sure I go to the exhibitions, the events, and engage with them as much as I can. So networking, speaking to them, learning from them, and asking them general questions when I have it. And I think that's really important. I think when you are a chamber member, it's really important to make sure you make the most of the service that they provide. You pay for a membership, but I could guarantee maybe like 7 out of 10 people actively engage with them, so it's a little bit pointless. If that's you, make sure you are engaging with them. Every year, St Helens Chamber of Commerce do like an exhibition, and I think that year they did two. This year they might only be doing one. But yeah, so in October 2022, we had the opportunity to go down and exhibit. We paid for the stand, and then, through my engagement with the chamber, I had a lovely email from the head of the chamber and asked me to come to the networking event before the show started. And then if she asked me if I'd like to have the opportunity to meet Siobhan, who is, I think, the director general, or she's like the top person at the British Chamber of Commerce. And I thought, yeah, cool, fantastic. I had no intention of selling a website at this point. And I remember after the networking event, a few of us got to meet Siobhan, and she was wonderful. My first impression of her was she was very much she was impactful. Like she stood out. Not a hair was out of place on her head. She looked great. And she commanded the room when she gave her talk, and she was really, really impressive. And I'm like, why the hell have they invited me to talk to this person? I'm just some common random person. I had the opportunity to speak to Siobhan, and the first thing I said to her was, apprenticeships are crap. Um, I might not have said it like that, but I said to her, apprenticeships are really bad, and we need to fix them because I feel like the apprenticeship levy is getting wasted. I feel like more short form or short training that is more hyper targeted and specific to what people need to learn would benefit learners and employees a lot more. What I found with my experience of apprenticeships is that, and it might have changed, but at the time it was that they are too slow to catch up, especially in digital marketing, and they're too broad. They're not as specific as they need to be for someone to really learn. A lot of times being wasted, a lot of pointless learning, and a lot of pointless bureaucracy, if that's the right word, in terms of like off the job hours and paperwork and this and that and sign this and do that. It was just for me getting to be a waste of time. And she took that on board. She was like, "Yeah, cool." She said some nice things, and then she's like, "Oh, you know what? You should speak to Bal, who is my head of comms." And I thought, "Okay, cool." So I told Bal the same thing. Bal found it really interesting. She entertained me. She didn't need to do that. She was very kind. And then she asked me, "What do I do?" At no point I thought I'd tell him what I did. I just ranted on about apprenticeships. It was great. And I said, "Oh, at Sood we build websites, this and that. We've chamber members for a long time. We've been through the whole ecosystem. A lot of our staff were, I don't know why I'm pointing at our office is behind this wall, but a lot of our staff came through apprenticeships, traineeships with the Chamber of Commerce, Kickstart, um, and it was great. I said staff, but I meant to say colleagues. This is a little side note, but I'm trying to say colleagues more because I prefer the word. And I went to a talk with James Timpson. NatWest were kind enough to invite me, and Krish, who runs a fantastic company called Oak and Tales to Inspire, interviewed James Timpson, and the one thing he kept saying was, we don't say staff, we say colleagues because we're all on the same level, and that's something that I'm trying to get better at doing. Is yeah, you get my point. So anyway, back to the story. So I tell Belle that this is what we do, and we've been doing it for a long time. And she said, "Oh, that's quite interesting. We need a website." So I thought, fantastic. I didn't mean to do this, but here we go. I then, okay, I was chatting to her and I was quite excited. Then she was like, drop me a message on LinkedIn and then we'll sort it out. And I was like, okay, cool. So I then proceeded to connect with Bal on LinkedIn, and I think I didn't get the connection accepted request for 30 days. So in my head, I was like, okay, she just said that for the sake of saying it. She wanted to shut me up and move me along. But I was wrong. She kindly reached out to me and then introduced me to the wonderful Bryony. And me and Bryony had a call. We tried to understand what they were looking for. I tried to share some opinions on what I thought they should be doing and put a proposal together. And then I didn't hear anything for 30 days. And that is very common when you do these type of pitches. And I didn't realize at the time, and we never really won, tenders and contracts and things like that. But I got the good news that we won it in January, and then that we had to go down quickly to do a workshop with the team, which was great. We then went down with, in all honesty, we've never done a workshop of that size, and for that specific size of website. So that website had around 6 different categories of stakeholders, and we had to build a website that could fulfill all the goals of these stakeholders. And me and Kieran went down to London. We were a bit nervous. We were very last minute putting this whole thing together, and we're good problem solvers. So even though we've not done something before, and even though you might not have done something before, it doesn't mean you can't do it. Sometimes it's better to say yes and work it out along the way. And that's what we did in this case. We did a discovery workshop of this size, and we've never done one before. And we put it together. We delivered it really well, I think. And the good thing about, I think one of my skill sets is that I can go off. I feed off people's energy. So like when I'm speaking to people, when I'm speaking to the camera now, I'm getting ideas in my head and I can talk about it. But specifically when we were at the discovery workshop, it was so good to speak to each person individually, hear their ideas, and then give them ideas and show them what we've done in the past and how we could solve that specific problem. And yeah, it went down a storm, and nearly 6 months later, it took us a while. We delivered the website, so feel free to check it out. But yeah, there's a couple points from that story that I really want to stress, and I think first one is consistency. I talk about consistency a lot. I think you got to do the work, you got to turn up, you got to show up, and anyone else might have said no. I've been to loads of these networking events and I get absolutely nothing from it. And Sod's Law, the one that I've could have gone to, I might have missed it because I've had that mentality. But I turned up, even though we had nothing or no work come historically from a Chamber of Commerce event. 5 years in, we got the biggest contract we've ever got to date, which is a global name, it's still weird for me to say that we've done the website and we are hosting and maintaining it as well. The second thing is be authentic and just be yourself. I don't think you need to hide and pretend you're someone you're not. Just when you meet people, just share your story and just be who you need to be. And I think the final thing is say yes more. Even though you might be scared and you think you might be out of your depth, you're probably not, and you probably will find a way through it. And if not, you can leverage and ask people in your network how to go about these things, and you can learn it for sure. So just because you haven't done something doesn't mean you can't do it. And I feel like I've talked for way too long. So that is the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed this story time of how we, a little tiny, tiny, tiny agency in St. Helens, won a very big project that is put us on the global stage, truth be told, and we're hoping to do a lot more of that. As always, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe, do whatever you need to do, share this with someone who might benefit from it. And then also leave me a comment below on what you'd like me to talk about next, and if you have any ideas and any wonderful things like that. If you want to come on and chat with me, that's also fine. Let me know and we can set it up. Thanks for watching. Take care.